This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio. Parlez-vous français? Metallic Rogue, or Rouge, or...
Metallic rug. It's uncomfortable to sleep on.
Isn't that just sheet metal?
Yes.
Kenny shares his culinary desires.
I do identify with the main character of this. Like, ever since I first watched Jurassic Park as a kid, you look at those dinosaurs and you think, what would those taste like chopped and buttered?
And it's a blockbuster anime season, and we've got some unexpected picks.
Have you ever heard of the brave robot anime genre?
No, I haven't.
It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
God, here we
The
go.
tragedy of Darth Brave the Wise.
Oh no!
Ava launch!
Tetsuo! Kanida!
Onii-chan?
It's over 9,000!
Nani?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa and welcome. You're tuned into Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive into the world of anime, manga, and Japanese otaku culture. I'm Kyle, and with me is Kenny, and it's 40-odd degrees Celsius here today.
Yes, it's... I almost died coming here, and we live like a couple of streets away.
Yeah, we do. We're only a couple of streets apart. But,
And yeah, walking was a mistake.
walking was a mistake. So the rest of the team are hunkered down. Most of them are actually at work. Emma's
Poor things.
Emma's also hunkering down and exhausted, so you know it's fair.
She
And,
also went outside for like a second, and you can imagine the rest.
yeah, like you know, she's come back in. Her skin's bright red. Don't know what's going on here. You know, us pasty boys, we got to stay inside. It's us for our safety.
I've been slightly browned from covering bushfire stuff, so
Were you in the bushfire?
yes, that's how I got this. That's how I got
Rotisserie
slightly
style?
roasted. Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, very nice. So,
If you're ever in a bushfire, if you're ever in a house fire, just turn around slowly. It'll brown you.
best tan you ever had. No, but in all seriousness, like be careful. Like we have had a insane amount of bushfires here in Western Australia
Naturally.
this season already, and it's only going to get worse. So do stay safe if you are
Yay.
a local listener. Now on to
Happy
more
news.
on to more happy news. This episode, it is a new anime season, and
Whoop,
it's
whoop.
God large.
It's
Oh,
it's loaded as hell. Like it's
Yeah.
not just the sheer volume of things that are continuing from the last season.
Yeah,
It is just there's a lot coming.
There's 5 shows carrying over from last season that we're already invested in, and I don't have enough hands for all of these animes.
I don't have enough eyes. What am I going to do?
Yeah, there's like 30 shows that we're interested in checking out on top of the 5 from last season.
How the hell does Giga do it?
He does. It's because we've discussed this before. It's because it's his full-time job.
That's Giga hire me.
If I had that much time, I'd be ecstatic. But we also have to go and earn money to pay for houses and rent. And all
I
that
have
sort of
I have
thing.
to buy milk and cider.
You have to buy strange tomes.
I mean, I don't have to. It's just that my book dealer,
Your book dealer.
my book dealer, not the other dealer, he finds me things I like, and that's. I don't
Yeah.
like people like that because then I have to buy it.
Yeah. Now, as we do every season, we're not going through all 30. To be honest, there's probably like 50 shows this season, if we're being honest. But we're not going to go through all 30 that we're interested. We've chosen 10 shows from across the new season that the team, everyone's picked a few, and we've chosen at least one each.
There's some good shows.
We'll be
These
filling,
are our good picks.
Yeah, we'll be filling in for the rest of the team, though they all sent in their suggestions. We compiled the list together. So from Shounen to Jousi, action and romance, there is plenty to look forward to. So stick around and to find out if we've picked one of your choices for this season. And if we haven't, let us know in the comments.
If you hate our choices, argue with me.
As we're a PG podcast, there are some that we are obviously not touching on. And it's not because of the violence factor, because there is one this season we're talking about which is R-rated for violence. It's because of, shall we say, mature content. Just more...
Naughty.
We're all ages, so we've got to err on the side of content caution.
Yeah.
So, either way, if you are new to the podcast, welcome. Happy 2024 to you. And if you're listening to this, a couple of years down the track, and you're like, happy 2024, well, think of it as, us being prepared so that you knew that you, listener, were in our hearts years ago.
Yeah, you're looking back at a very very strange age.
A very strange age.
A very weird decade.
Well,
it strikes me that people are going to be talking about this decade
The
in
20s,
classrooms in like 50 years.
Yeah, as part of
That's
anthropology.
going to be weird.
Yeah. We're in our 6th year of the podcast now. This is
wow.
first episode of year 6, which is like, wow.
Just think people are going to be looking back in schools at our podcast.
No, they're not.
No.
Though we are listed on Dexerto's list of recommended, so, maybe we're fine. Now, if you are new to the podcast, we do also have a YouTube channel where we share our live streams, and we do them along with, anime-related videos and interviews. We haven't had much time to get them done in recent years, but that should be changing soon.
Please come and subscribe to YouTube and encourage us.
Yeah.
Join our massive Lithuanian audience in subscribing to us.
You mean the 3 Lithuanians that we know of?
Yeah, what's the deal?
I don't know. They liked it? I don't know.
I like
maybe one of our friends was traveling, or maybe one of our listeners was traveling. You never know.
I like Lithuania.
I love Lithuania. Beautiful place.
Very pretty. Like incredible medievalist society.
And you can also find links for that YouTube channel and all our social media platforms in the episode's description, along with Patreon, where we have another podcast called The Pre-Show. The Pre-Show, we just kind of talked about, medieval fairs.
Yes.
Cider. Some of the shows we're not covering this season
for
the reasons.
For aforementioned reasons.
Yeah. You also get the chance to vote on topics such as our Halloween and Valentine's Day episodes. Valentine's is coming up soon, so we're going to have to...
On Halloween episodes, we talk about different horror creatures, horror genres, stuff like that. Always good fun to talk about. On Valentine's Day, full adults only, so...
Yeah.
It's
the naughty episode.
You get to make us watch terrible, horrible things. Why would you do that? I don't know. You're cruel.
I mean, is it a terrible, horrible thing? Or
Yes.
is it just a grossly mature and saucy delicatessen to
You have not seen what I have seen.
Look, last year we were... yeah. What was it? Interspecies. Yeah. That's what we watched last year. Now, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can find the details down below. Now, let's get stuck in as we are now doing going forward. It is a new anime season. We're talking the new anime season first.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
That's a lot of anime.
Oh god, there's so many.
Winter anime.
I think that just holds true. Every time there's a winter, we just have a glut. That is the measurement. It is a glut.
It is a glut of anime.
A glut of anime.
And it makes sense as well, because when you think about it from a societal standpoint in Japan, it's winter. It's cold. Everyone's inside. So that's why there's a lot of shows to watch.
If you think about it from a societal point of view in Australia, it's summer. It's burning hot. You're inside. You're not outside.
Or you're at the supermarket because your air conditioner died.
It's just, if you're going anywhere, it's for the air conditioning.
It's for the air conditioning. So, this season, as we mentioned, there is a glut. There is about... there's 30 that we're interested in, and there's no doubt about 20 more that we're not, because there's kid shows in there as well. There is short form. There is stuff that is just so generically isekai, we're not even giving it a chance.
One of them has probably... It sounds like a joke title. It sounds like the title of an isekai you'd hear about in another anime that's making fun of isekais.
My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world can stand up to me?
No, the other one. The shield one? Or
No. Seventh time loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy.
Okay, but that actually sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, it does. The weakest tamer begin a journey to pick up trash.
Why?
No, okay. 7 deadly sins, 4 nights of the apocalypse. That's a longish title.
That's definitely trash, but not.
Cherry magic, 30 years of can make you a wizard. It's a BL.
Okay.
I mean, that one could be alright. And these are all ones we're not talking about. How about the legend of supernormal prefecture of Chiba?
It's not normal. It's not normal.
Oh, no, I have found the one you're talking about, because of course I have. It, the level 99 strongest tanks labyrinth raids a tank with a rare 9999 resistance skill got kicked from the hero's party.
Wow, neat. What's that about?
Well, you see, it's you can guess why we're not watching it.
Light manga titles just...
I know. Light novel titles, they need reworking when they're going to anime.
I mean, I suppose it's like, we were talking about societal thing. It's just sort of a societal thing. That's how you title your light novels.
Yeah. Anyway, let's kick off with probably the one that is going to be most talked about. Now, we obviously know that there is still carryover champions from last season, such as Frieren, Shangri-la, Frontier, the Apothecary Diaries, Undead, Unluck. This is probably, outside of them, going to be the most talked about show this season, and that is Solo Leveling.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I mean, this one's been a long time coming.
It has. And it's a little controversial as well, and we'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, so it originates from a Korean web manga, so a manhwa. And this has been running in Korea, I think it finished about 18 months ago, would have been when the final chapter was released.
But it started a good while before then.
It's been running for years. Mm-hmm. And it was broken up into sort of seasons in the manga. We're going to call it manhwa. I'll stumble over it and make myself sound silly. So
yes.
The web manga of it was broken up into seasons, so there would be like breaks in between it once they hit certain milestones. So that's kind of going to be what they're going to sort of follow for the series. This is an action-adventure fantasy, which is... It's not an isekai per se, but there is travel to other worlds involved, if that sort of makes sense. So, I
mean, like, that goes into our whole debate on what makes an isekai an isekai.
Yeah.
Like, you...
Isekai literally means to be spirited away. It's you've been taken to another world from which you cannot return, not by choice. It's based on the Japanese idea of someone being spirited away, taken from the world and never returning.
But to that end, in the West we had Stargate, the original movie.
Stargate's not that, because they can return.
Oh, no, but the original movie, they couldn't return.
Yes, they could.
No, they couldn't.
They did.
They returned in the end because they found the code sequence that was missing in the thing.
Yeah, but in Stargate there was a device that the MacGuffin was about travel back and forth. It wasn't a singular event. It wasn't...
But if you think about it, then there are a few isekais which will flirt with that.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I think that's the whole thing of like what is like the definitive.
And I mean, in this definitely isn't an isekai because the majority of the story is set in the modern world. So,
but it's that
clarification. So 10 years ago, the Gate appeared and connected the real world with the realm of magic and monsters. To combat these vile beasts, ordinary people received superhuman powers and became known as hunters. 20-year-old Sung Jin-woo is one such hunter, but he is known as the world's weakest, owing to his pathetic power level compared to even a measly E-ranked monster. Still, he hunts monsters tirelessly in low-ranked gates to pay for his mother's medical bills. However, this miserable lifestyle changes when Jin-woo, believing himself to be the only one left to die in a mission gone terribly wrong, awakens in a hospital 3 days later to find a mysterious screen floating in front of him. This quest log demands Jin-woo completes an unrealistic and intense training program or face an appropriate penalty. Initially reluctant to comply because of the rigor of the quests, Jin-woo soon finds that it may just transform him into one of the world's most fearsome hunters. Now, here's what I mean about it not being an isekai. It flirts with the other world idea. So there's the gates, and the gates open up as like Stargate portals, if you will, inside locations. And the role of the hunters is they must go in and defeat the dungeon boss in that gate within a set period, depending on the power level of it. Otherwise, the gate opens into the world and the monsters pour out. So while it is another world, it is a self-contained world. It's like WoW's dungeons. They're an instance within it.
I suppose, but...
where they're not connected to the greater world on the other side.
That's just flirting with what makes a world and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I mean, I've been reading a manhwa of a similar nature where a guy gets trapped in like the tower dungeon that's just appeared in the modern world. But he's at such a high level and in such a precarious spot that he actually can't leave without just instantly being killed.
I mean, I wouldn't call that an isekai because it's within the existing world.
Oh, it's in a tower which is its own dungeon world. I should send that one to you. It's great. The guy becomes a farmer.
Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioning this. Yeah.
He gets minions. He gets bunny minions that help him farm.
Either way, this has not been listed as an isekai.
Oh, okay.
So it does. That's what I mean. With it flirting with the idea, but not really being it. And there is a bit where he goes adventuring.
Argue about it in the comments, people.
Yeah. So this, firstly, is the one we mentioned, which is R-rated. This is R-rated for violence. It's violence only from memory. There's no, shall we say, Goblin Slayer-esque scenes.
Yeah.
There's no raunchy scenes. It's due to the violence.
Mayhaps we should also address the controversy of the matter.
Well, yeah, because this is a Korean manga, and Korea and Japan do not see eye to eye on a lot of issues.
Historically, they don't get along.
Yeah, due to what happened during the wars. many of the world wars and the wars that were either side of it.
And so that's the thing: is the anime as it is being presented? Is it set in Tokyo?
It's set in Korea.
It's set in Korea.
So there was a manga adaptation in Japan based on the web manga.
Oh.
And it got a lot of criticism because the Korea, obviously written in Korea, Korea's society has been shaped by what has happened in the past.
It's a different people, a different culture.
The Japanese manga adaptation removed any criticism of Japan.
Ooh.
Or anything that could be led to be criticism. So that was an issue. And obviously, like, fans of the original manga just were like, no, like, you can't do that. Like, that is trying to basically ignore history.
I mean, I can understand about trying to keep politics out of entertainment, but if it's a part of the story, if it's a part of the original, you don't screw with the original material.
You don't mess with it. Either way, this was probably the biggest Korean manga for, almost a decade.
Huge. Like, there is a reason it's getting like a full adaptation. It's because it's very, very loved.
Yeah. And look, it's well done. The adaptation is being done by A1 Studios, who, as we know, has done a lot. They're Sony's own studio. So they did Love is War, Your Lie in April, Anohana, Sword Art Online, Blue Exorcist, which is, for some reason, Blue Exorcist is getting a sequel this season.
Yeah, I saw that. Everything's getting a sequel recently.
This season and next season is sequel central.
It's weird. I tried looking up to see if there was some kind of collusion or conspiracy. There is not, and that makes it worse.
But this is one of the shows that isn't in that funds. Now, this is being supported by Crunchyroll. Basically, if it's A1 Pictures who are going to be producing it, it's going to be on Crunchyroll because they're both owned by Sony. So Crunchyroll, Aniplex is in Korea, Bilibili in China, Netflix in some areas, and Video.com in Indonesia. Now, this...
I could see Netflix, like... actually, no, never mind. Netflix are very, very... closed-minded to this sort of thing. I was going to say that would be a fantastic thing to just put on every service possible, but they will not.
Well, no, they can't afford to. Crunchyroll, because of Sony, they have a monopoly on certain markets now.
Maybe they could afford to if they didn't stop cancelling all their good shows and...
Yeah, and then making the bad ones. Yeah, I don't get it. It's like, hey, this was really successful. Let's not renew it and renew the one that failed. Oh, hang on,
I'm not allowed to say the bad words on this podcast, so I can't tell you how I really feel about Netflix.
No, we know. It's okay, we know.
You know.
Anyway,
half of it.
This show, Solo Leveling, is going to air for 12 episodes. It's airing on Saturdays at Saturday midnight, Sunday morning, if that makes sense, because obviously Japanese shows always air in the late night for anime. 12 episodes are rated. We'll see how it goes.
12 episodes isn't a ton, so perhaps we're looking at multiple seasons.
We definitely are. I think this might be A1's new Sword Art Online project. Because they did, with Sword Art Online, they did the big Alicization arc and all that. And that finished in a very sort of solid spot. And then they went back and did Progressive, which was as films, which is just a dumpster fire. Because like the irony that it was meant to be from
we're dumping on Sword Art Online now, people. You should get your popcorn.
Yeah, when aren't we dumping on Sword Art Online nowadays?
A mate of mine actually asked me for advice last night. He found an image, I forget what it was, but it was basically saying, I'm a god, I'm better than you three. And he was asking, and he was going to say, make the three things he's pointing to: Naruto, Bleach, and Dragon Ball, I think. And he was going to make like, okay, what would be the most offensive anime to say I'm better than you? We both at once said, Sword Art Online. Had a good long laugh about that.
Look, and this is, we're going well off topic this episode, but it's only us two, so, we'll get through it. I got Emma to watch some old anime.
Oh?
I showed her Danmachi, which is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Which she, for some reason, continues to watch, despite saying she hates it.
Hate watching is a valid form of watching for some things.
But she's 2.5 seasons in. She's further in than I am.
Okay, that's pushing it.
I showed her a certain scientific railgun and a certain magical index, and she couldn't get through the first episode of either. I also forgot how raunchy railgun is.
Yeah.
Like, you always forget. You just remember the big battles. You forget that Shirai is a creep and should be in jail. And then I showed her Full Metal Panic.
Oh.
Going even further back, and she actually quite liked Full Metal Panic.
Full Metal Panic. We need to do an episode on
We
that.
do.
And Fumofu. It's a spin-off series.
Well, Fumothu is season 2. And the funny thing is that all of those comedy bits in the manga happen as part of the normal episodes. So what they did was they were like, we're going to make season 1 dead serious so that the tone is not lost. And then they just grabbed all of the comedy bits and whacked them together to make Fumothu.
I didn't even see the first season of Full Metal Panic. And so when I first saw Fumofu, I just thought, okay, this is hilarious. And I had no idea this was a mecha anime.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's so removed, it's so detached from what the first season even is.
Yeah, it's good though. Anyway, Crunchyroll, Bilibili, and Netflix and Video and Annie Plus are your spots for solo leveling. Let's talk about Mashle, because it has come back. Season 2 of Mashle, Magic and Muscle, the Divine Visionary Candidate Exam Arc.
Whose pick is this?
Aaron's.
Oh, yes.
Yep. No surprise there.
Mashle has been just
It's
great.
so good, though. And I would like to paraphrase Aaron when he talked about Mashle the first time it was on. It was like, the boy who lived, come to die.
Yes.
This is basically taking the utter Mickey out of Harry Potter.
Which, is always fun.
There are no muggles. There are only magic people, except for Mash. And Mash
that like
is
anyone
OP.
without magic is considered like a subhuman in this realm.
So this is a
magical
world
racism
of
land.
magic. This is a world in which magic is casually used by everyone. And in this world of magic, Mash Burndead attends magic school. To protect his quiet life with his family, he sets his sight on becoming a divine visionary, the elite of the elite, while hiding the fact that he can't use magic.
Yes, so every time a magic task is given to him, like flying a broom or casting a fireball, anything like that, he accomplishes it not with magic, but through sheer physical will.
No, through brute strength.
Yes.
He flies by kicking his legs like he's a bird. Underneath him, flapping them. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like, he has, I want you to light this candle on fire without touching it. So he uses a petal and mortar to make a blaze, like that spins around the room and then catches on fire. Like, he beats everything by literal muscles. It's ridiculous and it's great. He's also loved cream puffs.
It's like when they're trying to I'm going to read his mind and find out what his secret is. Oh my god, it's all cream puff. This man thinks of nothing but cream puffs.
What is wrong with him? So this is also being done by A1 Pictures.
Very kind of a similar kind of action and comedy style to Mob 100.
Yeah, Mob Psycho 100, so this is sequel. First season was fantastic. Highly recommend you watch it. That's on Crunchyroll already. This season also going to be on Crunchyroll, because it's A1 Pictures, Amazon Prime Video, but it doesn't list where, so I'm going to guess it's probably Amazon Prime Video Japan.
Yeah, more than likely.
And Annie Plus in Korea for this one. Based on a manga. Look, what can we say? We love this. This is one of our picks for last year.
It's silly fun. If you grew up reading Harry Potter, this is for you. If you grew up not reading Harry Potter or even just didn't like it or don't like it now, still for you.
Yeah.
It's great.
Actually, especially if you enjoy the prospect of taking the Mickey out of Harry Potter as a franchise.
Difficult.
Not difficult, but it's pretty funny. It also says a lot when one of the genres for it listed is gag humor, because this is like classic parody gag humor. It's mwah. I love it. Go watch it. Saturdays, 11:30 p.m. It airs. 2 episodes are out at the time of recording. And I think you'll enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. What's next?
Well, this is my pick, and this is a manga I've been reading for years and didn't realize it was a light novel. The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic.
It almost sounds like a light novel with a title that was borderline, that title length.
See, the thing is that title got me quite angry when I first saw it. Because I was like, someone stole my idea that I was writing in my book that I never finished.
Because you wanted to a person who uses overheal and will give them
damaging people
cancer cells or gives them horrifying bones and stuff like that. Yes.
Imagine you're a healing magician, but you can use healing in a way that's really nasty and make people's bones overgrow or their knees shrink or make their liver revert and stuff like that. using it in a really
horror
horrible
magic.
way. This is not that.
Which, okay. Well,
This is an isekai, but it is quite well done, and all of the characters you meet in it, who are like the main trio, are nice people. They're not. It's not the generic, oh my god, the pretty girl is so up herself or any of that sort of stuff.
it's not like I like you or anything.
Exactly. So this is being done by Shinai Animation. They did Tezumasu Takagi, Dangers in My Heart, and Doraemon.
Okay, so that's why you like it.
It's not a romance. The art style is just beautiful. Saturdays in the morning at 12:30 a.m. So Friday night, Saturday morning. 13 episodes. It's on a lot of the Muse network in Southeast Asia,
So
Bilibili and Crunchyroll.
What's the plot?
Ken Usato is a normal high schooler in every sense of the word. He's average grades, dreams, and a tendency to dislike extraordinary people. However, when he encounters the president, I don't know, I wouldn't say he has a tendency to dislike extraordinary people. He's just not bothered by it. He's just like, that's cool, they're cool. He's normal. He's not like, a woe is me character. He's just going along with life and getting ready for, high school and university and whatever. However, when he encounters the high school president and vice president of the student council, both popular and extraordinary, he immediately becomes friends with them. All of this is interrupted when Ken's new friends are summoned into another world and he accidentally gets dragged along too. Dejected and with no way to return, he resigns himself to staying quietly in the new world until he finds out he has an affinity for healing magic, a very rare form of magic which gives him both self-confidence and the attention of all mages. However, not all attention is good, which is something Ken realizes when he gets noticed by a crazy fellow healing magic user. Basically, he gets roped into the rescue squad, which is a battlefield medicine team who use magic to buff themselves. So, like, they will run so fast that they're breaking their muscles, but healing them themselves while running. So they're super powerful and dangerous, and they dash into the battlefield to rescue warriors to then heal them back at base.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a new spin on it.
Yeah. And you totally expect, like, the the student council president for her to be like, really, well thought out and deductive person. She reveals literally in like the first 5 minutes that she's like, do you guys know what you're doing once you leave high school? Because she's a senior and they're juniors. And they're like, oh, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. What about you? And she's like, oh, I have no idea. It's like, you're the president of the student council. How do you have no idea?
Yeah, it's like to be in a student council in any Japanese anime in Japan at all is to be God.
Yeah.
It's to have all the plans, to have everything figured out. You see all the pieces.
So like you think those, like, it's very much like Love is War in that it, everyone thinks they're prim and proper, but they're not. Also, like, the student council president's actually a bit of a Shinobio.
Oh.
She got those Shinobio tendencies, and you're just like, wait, what? So it's good. It's really well done.
How did you get into this?
Yeah, and also like their relationship with the three characters doesn't degrade over time. They don't become like distant to one another or disliking one another or anything like that.
Oh, good.
So it's like, at least from the manga. So that was was one of the reasons I kept reading it, because it's nice. It's like, it subverts the standard. You've been summoned as the hero. You were summoned along with the heroes. Okay.
All right. Okay. But I'm going to push back on that. It's just everything, every new you've been summoned thing.
Oh, I know.
Is pushing back against the norm now.
Yeah.
It's become the norm to push back against the norm, which makes it no longer the norm. So they're not pushing back against the norm. They're just the norm and pushing it back against the unnorm.
But I think at least like none of these characters are stereotypical, which is part of what I think makes it fun. Like
an original
put
concept.
it this way, you will see the king freak out hearing that a certain person is about to arrive at the castle and telling them, hide him.
Okay, that I kind of want to be. That I'm interested in.
Okay, it's pretty funny. I'd say it's got a bit of gag humor to it as well. Also, he gets a pet bear.
That's cool.
Which is blue, and he's called Bluey.
A blue bear.
Magic.
What? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Magic.
Cool.
Magic.
All right, time for your turn.
Yay! I've been waiting for this for years.
Yeah, it's not the one you're talking about. We're coming back to that later.
Oh.
We're going to talk about the one you haven't watched yet.
Oh yes.
Brave Bang Bravern.
Bang Brave. Brave Bang Brave.
Brain Brave Brang.
Bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
This one I'm a little
Durr.
excited for a few reasons.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Brave Robot anime genre?
No, I haven't.
It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
Oh, God. Here we go.
The tragedy of Darth Brave the Wise.
Oh, no. 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 Stop
Okay, no.
this, you.
Your Brave Robot anime is like, how would I put it? Your Voltron and stuff along those lines, where, you know, the robot is more heroic and more of a power fantasy than your standard kind of giant robot like Gundam stuff. And that's upsetting a lot of people. For some reason, everyone saw the trailers for this and thought, okay, this is going to be another one of those wartime animes. This is going to be sad and serious, and this is going to be another kind of extreme thing for me to watch. Good, this is along my taste. And then like this epic, hopeful paladin of a mech with like the horns on its head and a giant sword just shows up and goes, "Here I come to save the day."
Oh, God.
And it looks like it's not a comedy. It's taking itself seriously, but it's not being serious, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's more going back to that kind of like old school kind of style of storytelling, more of a power fantasy than like a
80s goof.
Yes,
Yeah,
more along
yeah.
those lines.
Yeah, fair
I mean,
enough.
I can't even say it's goof. It's more like the kind of seriousness that Power Rangers would show itself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, Japanese Power Rangers or Western Power
Western
Rangers?
Power
okay,
Rangers.
there you go.
If you get that.
Yeah. So this is an action mecha. It's PG. Mm-hmm. I wasn't too sure about this because of one simple reason. The studio is CY Games Pictures.
That I didn't know.
CY Games do a lot of mobile games.
Yeah.
And they have been able to put out some pretty decent content in the past. So they are involved in the Idolmaster Cinderella franchise. So, like, that's the CG dancing one, which is kind of like the rival to Love Live.
Yeah.
They did Princess Connect Redive, both seasons of that. And that was really well animated. Like, it wasn't everyone's cup of tea. Also, not everyone's cup of tea. Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. They do all the animation for that.
Oh.
So, like, we know they know how to animate. We know they stay true to the source material for the most part.
Yeah. This one I'm more excited for because it's an older kind of style, which I haven't seen for a very long time. And because it's making a lot of people upset online.
But on the
that kind of appeals to my trolling senses.
On the note of source material, there is none. This is an original series.
Yeah.
So we don't know how many episodes it's going to be. We do know it's PG, and we do know it's airing on Thursdays.
I've got this on my list as a wild card because I want to see what it'll do.
Yeah. Thursdays at 11:56 p.m. In Japan, yeah. I don't know why, but we'll go with that. I'll give the proper summary. So in a world where humanoid armored weapons known as Taitotono Strider, TS for short, I'm not going to say it the other way, are used in warfare, troops from various countries converge on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, including Ao Isami of the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force and Lewis Smith of United States Marine Corps. Isami and Smith play cross paths during battle, but suddenly their teams are attacked by an unknown enemy, scattering soldiers and sending their forces into disarray. In order to save their friends and survive on the deadly battlefield, they must fight with every ounce of courage and pride they can muster. Do they transform? Do they connect together?
I don't know. That'd be cool.
Is it like Voltron, where the more you put on, the better it gets? Like,
that'd be cool. I think I remember an anime not a lot different to that, where it was just the two people and their two mechs transforming. What happened to that one?
You mean Gurren Lagann?
No, there was another one. We need to do a Gurren Lagann.
We did do a Gurren Lagann episode. There was another one, yeah. I can't remember what it was.
It was...
It was a thing.
We need to go back and look at a bunch of things we just left.
Oh, I know. This is going to be on Crunchyroll starting next week. So the first episode has come out in Japan, but no one had licensed it. And Sony jumped on board literally on, I think, like Wednesday or Thursday this week.
I might have a retraction to give if it's a bad anime, but
we'll see. Give it a chance. Let's be honest, we don't really promote a lot of mecha anime because it is usually a bit of a niche audience. This one does sound like it could be a bit of a wider audience, so we'll see. Let's go to... You can watch it on Crunchyroll, Annie Plus Korea, Annie Plus Asia, and from there we'll go to It's Time for Torture Princess. Now, this ain't your cup of tea, but it is Emma's.
Look, I like the concept. It's just that it's kind of a one-note joke. Certain anime can get away with that, like Mashle, because it does it in different ways. This one, I just feel like it's very, very similar over and over again.
I mean, it might be, but we won't know until we look.
Yeah, 3-episode treatment and all that. But
exactly. But I think this could be just funny. I mean, it's going to make you hungry. That I can tell you for sure. Like, my God, I actually went and ate like so much toast after the toast episode.
Actually, yeah, me as well.
Okay, cool.
I did have a lot of butter toast.
So this is a comedy fantasy food, they say like gourmet style anime. Is the war between the Imperial Army and Hell Horde rages on. The princess, despite being armed with her mythical sword Excalibur, is captured and imprisoned. What kind of torture does she face at the hands of the chief demon interrogator? Well, there's fluffy, fresh-baked toast, hot steaming ramen. Oh, the humanity! Can the princess withstand these tormenting treats and keep her kingdom secrets safe? No, she can't, but they're not very useful secrets.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. She is shown some awesome food and says, if you tell us the secrets, we'll give you this to you. And she basically immediately cracks every time.
Yeah.
But then the secret that she gives the demon's like, oh, we can't use that.
It's like, we don't have enough forces for that. Oh, we can't get there.
And so like, okay, let's see what else she can tell us. No, that's not useful. Oh no. Okay, give us something else. That's
not useful.
Damn it.
But yeah, basically you've got the princess, the sword on one side of the equation, the torturer and her assistant. The torturer, her name is Torturer. I'm not even kidding.
They didn't even try.
They didn't even try. They thought it was hilarious. And her
name
adorable.
is Princess. The sword's name is Sword McSwordface.
But then she's got an assistant. We don't know the assistant's name, but
Minion
he's like,
McMinionson.
he kind of looks like an ogre goblin crossed with Frankenstein's monster.
Of the New Hampshire Minionsons.
Of the New Hampshire monsters. And he is just adorable. Like, he's like, whenever they're doing it, it's like they're going to do sushi and he's there in his little sushi outfit and all that. They're doing ramen and he's like, he
dresses up as like the street hawker with the ramen cart.
Yeah. Like, and then they had like a toast party and you're like, what the heck is going on?
What is a toast party? Has anyone had a toast party?
Well, I think that's probably more like brick toast.
Oh,
Actually,
I don't know.
could
That
go
looks.
brick toast.
I could
always
murder
go
brick toast. I don't think that was brick toast. That just seemed to be like
really good shokopan.
That just seemed to be very nice toast.
Japanese. I don't know if I've told you, completely off topic, but
they had a toast dance.
We have a Japanese food distributor that does the distribution for all the Japanese restaurants, along with the Japanese sort of like realty shops, if you will.
Oh.
So they supply like Miyu and stuff like that. They have an online website which is now open to customers. They sell the Japanese bread, like the big thick one where like it's 6 massive slices in a little square cube. And I'm like,
you need to send me that link.
They're called JFC.
No, I need you to
Japanese Food Corporation.
Okay,
da. I don't care. I love it.
JFC online. Yes. Give me bread. Give me bread. Give me bread.
Anyway, while I distract Kenny with bread, tis time for Torture Princess is being done by Pine Jam. They did Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible and Kageki Shoujo. They're a relatively new studio established in 2015. It's going to air Monday nights, and I could have swore I had the time listed here.
I found the bread.
You found the bread.
I found it all.
How expensive is the bread?
4 sliced chocopan, 374 grams is that's $6.50 Australian.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible at all.
That's not terrible at all.
Let's make a bulk order later.
I think we might have to.
Let's get some bread.
Today's going to be a good day. We're going to order bread.
I'm having some bread.
Play video games and drink cider. Sounds like a great day. This airs on Tuesdays midnight, and it's like Monday morning, Tuesday night, if that makes sense. And yeah, Crunchyroll, Ani+ Korea, Ani1 Asia, Hong Kong. Because it's the start of the year, you find that a lot of the international streaming services outside of Crunchyroll and Ani+ and Bilibili haven't listed all of their shows yet. Mm-hmm. So if you're in Southeast Asia and especially like if you're in the subcontinent India or South America or Europe, you will not have listings yet. It's frustrating, but the good news is you'll probably get like 3 episodes at once. So just bear with them. Your local distributors will have them.
You'll get everything. You'll be able to binge it. You'll be able to eat bread while you watch the show. It's great.
Yeah, only Crunchyroll really has the capacity to keep operating through Christmas.
Yeah.
At the moment, anyway.
Alrighty, what's
All right,
next?
Next is another one by Aaron. It's Tsukimichi Season 2. This is Moonlit Fantasy. It is a action-adventure comedy isekai. The ugliest man in the world. He's not. He's just kind of a bit plain looking. But he arrives in. He gets isekai'd, and the entire world treat him as if he is the ugliest man in the world.
Yeah, they think he's a rare monster because he's to them ugly. He can
also speak other languages. So
yeah, he doesn't speak the human language because he's ugly. Which is silly.
Yeah. I won't read the synopsis for Season 1 because that gives away the ending. But this first aired in 2021, and the original synopsis is Makoto Misumi was just an average teenager who happened to suddenly be summoned to another world as a hero. But the goddess of his world called him ugly and took his hero status away from him, then sent him to the ends of the world. In the wastelands, he meets a dragon, a spider, orcs, dwarves, and many other non-human races. And he managed to show promise in the use of magic and fighting, which he wouldn't have been able to do in his former world. He has numerous encounters, but will be able to survive this new world. A fantasy where a guy who's been abandoned by God's humanity tries to reset his life in this new world.
He looks perfectly average.
Yeah, he's average. But the problem is that this world is ruled by a god who will not allow any ugly humans to exist. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like Marvel.
No.
I can argue that point, but we'll do that off air.
Have you seen Squirrel Girl?
No, no, I don't mean Marvel Comics. I mean the cinematic.
Oh,
universe.
the cinematic universe. Everyone's beautiful in cinema. Though.
Not that everyone's beautiful. It's just that it's ruled by a capricious
we're not.
deity bloke who decided everyone's choices for them. So no one's ever made a meaningful choice in all of Marvel until recently.
True, because they basically, messed it up. Anyway, moving on from controversy. Light novel this is, Tsukimichi, originally.
Marvel's terrible. Fight me in the comments.
JC staff are behind it. GC staff? I don't know who they are.
Bread C staff, yes.
Oh, I've got just bread on my mind.
JFC.
JFC. Konosuba, Danmachi, Railgun, Index, Food Wars, Toradora. Emma's not going to like it. No, she actually did enjoy season 1 of this. Food Wars is fantastic. Like, I know Food Wars is basically just like taking the utter mick on food series, but I love Food Wars.
And it's frankly, it's an ecchi.
It's designed to be dumb, and it's ecchi for everyone.
Watch it with the family. Yes, it's for everyone.
No, it's not family fun. It's a family bad time.
My sister walked into that one not knowing a thing about anime.
Oh,
she saw that on a
really?
streaming service and was just like, what the hells?
God.
Oh, you should have seen her, like, the shock when she was asking me about it. I was just like, yeah, someone should have told you. And then she went straight from that to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, your sister's odd. Like, no offense to her.
I tell her
she's lovely, but
I tell her the animes to watch, and then she just picks something left field.
Yeah. Oh, dear. I mean, that is very much your sister, so there you go.
That's family.
Either way, Claire, listen to us. We're telling you the good shows. Watch the good shows.
Claire, argue with me in the comments about something. Your hair sucks.
Sibling energy. Anyway, this is airing Mondays, 11 p.m. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, Crunchyroll, Annie Plus Korea, Annie One Asia in Hong Kong, and Bilibili in China. As said previously, no details outside of those immediate streaming services, but they will show up eventually. Probably just that they're waiting for all the offices to open back up to finalise deals. Now, it is your turn to talk about food, Kenny.
Yes, you faked me out on this one, on the first one. I thought you were talking about this one on that time, and I'll get you for that.
Well, we're going to be talking, actually, about a little show
I'm
called Banished from the Heroes Party, which is actually all all about food. No, I'm kidding.
faked me out again,
No, we are
Trebek.
talking Dungeon Meshi, delicious in Dungeon.
Good, we should be talking about that.
First things first, it's Trigger. Studio Trigger.
Studio Trigger. Like, not the group I figured would be doing that.
No. These are the guys who did Kill the Kills, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Little Witch Academia. They were
Promare.
founded by the people who created Gurren Lagann.
It's just, they are used to, like, bombastic, crazy action, and this is a lot more restrained.
Oh, very much so.
But their artistic prowess is on full display still. They are true to the manga, true to the original works, which we started reading 12 years ago.
I don't think it's that long, but it feels that long. It took that long. Hang on. Delicious in Dungeon.
Like, the original manga finished a while ago.
Well, actually, only Actually, you're right. It did finish a while ago. We only just got it recently. It's 10 years. 2014, February it started.
2014. I knew it.
So there you go. 14 volumes, and because it never hit 100 chapters, every year it got put forward for a new and upcoming manga. It's like, well.
But yes, it's fair to say everyone has been waiting for this one.
Yeah. So this is going to be 24 episodes, and I'm curious as to how this is going to be handled, because the opening sequence features characters only shown at the very end.
Which is, I know, right? Are they just going to keep that consistent?
They could Well, I'm wondering if they're going to shrink the story.
I'd rather they didn't.
But I am also aware that there is some fat that could be cut. Like there are
fitting for the anime.
Yeah, I know. There are some chapters where not a lot happens. And don't get me wrong, there are chapters where there's good food and stuff, but there are chapters where there might be like an introspective look, and that can probably be shrunk down. So,
and now speaking of the food, the plot of this. Shall I just read it from the list?
Is this the one which starts with after the Golden Kingdom?
No. Young adventurer Laos and his company are attacked and soundly thrashed by a dragon deep in the dungeon near where they live.
The dungeon.
The party loses all of its money and its provisions, and a member of its party is still stuck down there. She is being digested by the dragon that thrashed them. She got it and got them all out in time. So they're eager to go back and save her before she is completely digested and irretrievable. There's a problem. They set out, they have no food, no money for provisions. A couple of their party members have just abandoned because, they're disheartened about being just trounced by a dragon. Mm-hmm. And so they can go into the dungeon, but they will starve on the way. Mm-hmm. But then they have an idea. Let's cook and eat the monsters.
And it's great because you've got Marcel, who is the elvish healer, and she is so against the idea.
Yeah, she hates the idea of eating the monsters. They are unholy and evil and foul and monstrous.
Yeah. Laos, the team leader, is very keen to do so. He's been looking for an excuse.
He's been thinking about this a long time, and it's in a way that makes you a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then they team up with a dwarf, and he's been eating the monsters for a while now.
Like a decade.
Yeah. It's like he carries a wok on his back. He uses it as a shield, but it's basically his cooking implement. Mm-hmm. And so they will chop up and serve the monsters as they find them, cook them in a style that befits them. And in the manga, you'll get an entire page which tells you the ingredient list. And if you just swap out the giant scorpion for, say, lobster, then it will make a formidable meal. It will make an excellent bit of grub. Mm-hmm. And I had someone who had just collected all of the recipe pages and lined them up.
Oh, I need to get that.
Right, I'll send that to you.
Yeah, I was cooking those dishes.
But so in this, they don't give you the full recipe page, but they still take you through
the cooking process.
And, just as it should be in anime about food, every shot of the actual cooked product is just, It's
like Ghibli's food.
Ooh,
it's
I
not
want to eat
quite
that.
to that level, but it's close.
Yeah.
Because it's Trigger. Now,
and because it's colourful monsters as well, so there is something slightly off about that.
Oh, absolutely. Like a purple scorpion, tail in there. It's like, it's turned red. And it's like, that makes it so much more
but then they kill and cook up a cockatrice, which is a giant venomous magical chicken with a snake for a tail.
Yeah. That would be great.
That would be amazing.
So good. Now,
I do identify with the main character of this. Ever since I first watched Jurassic Park as a kid, you look at those dinosaurs and you think, what would those taste like chopped and buttered?
A dinosaur steak.
Yes. What would dinosaur taste like? What would a T-Rex tail taste like?
Look, if you're gonna get anybody to cook it, take it to Fibbers.
Oh, yes.
If I got hold of dinosaur meat, I would take it to Fibber McGee's and get them to put it in their aging room, and the trade-off being is that they age it and I can have half it and they can sell the rest.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd take the deal.
I'd want to try some fresh, and then I definitely want to try some aged as well.
Tataki style.
Oh yes.
I could do that. Oh, yeah.
But so you see all the Jurassic Park movies and you see all the different dinosaurs and you're just like, You with a bit of butter and salt and pepper.
Don't say that. You're making me really hungry.
You with a stew. You with some bread. You with some bread.
So you with some chocopan. So look, this is, funnily enough, on Netflix worldwide. And this is probably after the success of Cyberpunk Edgerunners that Netflix went, well, with Trigger Do It, we'll buy the rights.
Yeah, I hope Netflix does more work with Trigger because, that will earn them some credibility back.
Well, this is the thing. This model works because Netflix aren't allowed to do anything.
Exactly.
They're just a distributor.
They don't get to touch it in any way. They
fund it, and then they get the end product. They don't get a say in it.
Oh, and then there is the dubs. They've been doing good.
The dubs for this are actually good, which I'm really surprised by.
There is a joke clip going around of the Elf Marcy, her dub being replaced with German language. So everyone else is talking in English, and then she'll just come on and freak out in German. It's just like, this is weirdly fitting. I don't know why. There is no reason this should work, but it does.
It works, and I'm not okay with it. So look, this comes out. It's episodic, thankfully. So they're not going to do what they do with half the other stuff, where they just kind of randomly drop a whole season batch. Because this is the thing, like. From a viewer's perspective, getting the entire season so you can binge it sounds like a good idea. But it almost guarantees it won't get another season. And that's because with the season running for a length of period, it has enough time to stay relevant in the zeitgeist of society for it to be, well enough known that there is people who support the push to adapt.
This was how TV used to be done.
Exactly.
It's that, things would come out week to week and you would get a real-time observation of how people felt about it.
Yeah. Like when you drop an entire show at once, people talk about it for a week and it's done. Like maybe 2. Or then it'll have a resurgence because some celebrity watched it and recommended it.
Yeah.
But again, 1 or 2 weeks. It doesn't keep it in the social zeitgeist. It's why Dragon's Wind and Fire thing... Game of Thrones
yes.
lasted as long as it did, even though the last 2 seasons went seriously downhill. It's because it was stuck as part of the global zeitgeist. Everyone would say winter is coming, and that's what series need to stay relevant to ensure they get second seasons.
Kept its hype by giving you something to look forward to. Look, Dungeon Meshi, next episode in 4 days, 5 hours, 15 minutes, and 30 seconds.
See, you're excited for it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why the anime season has been so successful in penetrating the Western market. Like, it's...
That and its competition is...
not
good.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest, its only competition is, like, South Park...
and South Park's not really competing with anyone.
No, it's not. But you know what I mean? Like, it's the only things that sit in the same genre. Like, is Family Guy still going? Is American Dad still going?
I believe Family Guy still might be.
Yeah.
But not even for animation, for just entertainment-wise, it's just anime and manga are trouncing Western stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're looking at the animated sector, you're not going to find much. Obviously, it still has to compete with normal TV, and that's a whole other ballpark altogether. It depends on audience interest and direction.
Naturally.
But as far as taking control of an animation space and having hype in it, this has done it.
We're enjoying a veritable golden age.
Yeah, we are.
A fading golden age. Everything's a bit repetitive, isekai-wise.
Well, I mean, that happens with every genre. Yeah. We'll just find out what the new one is, and I think it might be the shoujo and shosei, the romance mangas, like the really female-oriented ones.
That's an interesting prediction.
Because we're getting more and more every season.
We are, and you may be right.
And they're being well received. I mean, look at Apothecary Diaries. That's very clearly targeted at a female demographic, and it does really well.
That was this season's Sherlock, and I'm still salty about that. I didn't realize until episode 3.
I mean,
we were talking about how every couple of seasons there is a Sherlock anime.
It is, but it's not a Sherlock anime because no one's called Sherlock.
It's totally a Sherlock.
It's Sherlock
anime.
Adjacent. I'll give you that.
It's Sherlock adjacent. Yes.
Yeah. There's every season there will be something where there is the target is mystery and solving. So yeah. Next
okay, but
season
which one's the Watson? Is it that's the?
What no. I'm not naming that because I'll get it wrong. All right. My other pick for the season, Metallic Rogue. or Rouge, or what, I'm not sure how it's meant to be said.
Metallic rug. It's uncomfortable to sleep
Isn't that
on.
just sheet metal?
Yes. Metallic rug, the sheet metaling.
So Metallic Rogue is the new original action mecha sci-fi from Studio Bones.
Heavy metal.
They did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Mob Psycho, Bungo Stray Dogs, My Hero Academia.
Woof.
So we know they're good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is an original anime. We don't know how many episodes. It's not been announced. But typically at the moment, original animes typically do get 12. Not many studios want to risk 25. Those ages are kind of
Interesting
gone.
when, like, original anime is... You don't know what you're going to get. And, I mean, that almost feels like an obvious statement, but it's when it isn't derived from a certain source, that just means it's entirely in-house. It can go in any direction.
Well, I mean, look at how phenomenal Wonder Egg Priority started out as. The only reason it failed was because they ran out of budget. They had the story that they were trying to tell was too big for the time they'd been given, and then COVID. So a lot happened, which kind of brought that to the end, and then they wrapped it up in the most disgusting sandwich I've ever seen at the end. Like, it just kind of like it felt like they just
sandwiches still here.
It really felt like we've given up. We have just sighed, and it was over. And they couldn't do anything about it. And it's a shame because it was
a terrible sandwich.
It was terrible. It was just tasteless.
It was a waste of bread.
Waste of bread. Like that Shokopan should have been used for something better, like brick toast.
Nutella.
Oh no. Oh
yes.
No. Anyway, Metallic Rogue is, as we said, original story. It's going to air on Thursdays in the morning at just before 1 a.m. Thursday morning, so Wednesday night, Thursday morning. The summary: in a world where humans coexist with androids called Neens, a group known as the Immortal Nines rises up against society.
The androids are called memes?
Neens, Neans. I believe it's an acronym.
Okay.
So, the Immortal Nine, by my understanding from watching the first episode, is that they are androids who pretend to be humans and sort of like vampires, disappear for a couple of years and then come back with a new look and continue living in the high life.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, tasked with disposing of these revolters at the Immortal Nine. I don't know why they're revolters. That never was really covered in depth. It's kind of been alluded that they've done things that are questionable.
I think it's probably like your standard thing. It's like we are robots. We were made to serve humans, but we don't want to.
They've got Asimov's laws as part of the story. Like they do say, you can't hurt us because of Asimov's law. It results in a robot dying because they steal his. There's a liquid that every robot injects, like is their equivalent of like power source, if you will.
Powerade, yes.
It's yellow, yeah, and then if you crack it, it goes blue like a glow stick sort of thing.
Gatorade. Gotcha.
Gatorade, yeah. So it's Android Gatorade, and that gives them the electrolytes and turbolights for their body to move.
Naturally, I'm following.
Yep, and in the first episode in a nightclub, like the guys working the bar who are humans steal one of them because they're going to sell on the black market, and the android, because he misses an injection, literally dies from it. So it's like very much a way like it's very much a world where there are controls in place which are there to ensure human safety and to prevent a revolution.
I mean, yeah, I could see revolution happening after an incident like that. Checks out, very animatrix.
I don't know if that actually has an impact on anything because you just see the guy's corpse being put in a dumpster.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really sad. But tasked with disposing these revolters who are, rising up against a society, which is the Immortal Nine, a Neen named Rogue Red Star, aka Metal Rogue, and investigator Naomi Orthman, and I'm not sure if Naomi is human or android, they head to Mars to track them down. But first, Rogue wants some chocolate. Rogue's a cool character. Like, the design, I originally thought this was like a Trigger series because of the way the character design has been done. It's very in line with that sort of like colourful, bombastic.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cover art for it now. They look... there's something very familiar about that style.
I know, right? Now, that might be because it's Studio Bones and we know, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Mob Psycho, Stray Dogs.
Oh, no, yes.
Like the character design is familiar from that.
It's very contemporary, but there's something classic about it. It's like, what was it? I'm getting, Dirty Pair from this. For some reason. I don't know why.
Man, that's like 80s
right?
classic. Yeah. So,
but
I'm really
that kind of dynamic I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I'm quite excited for this. I think it'll be quite good. Yeah, I only to be fair, I only got I think 2/3 of the way through the episode last night before I went, it is way too hot, I need a shower and to go to bed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I was really enjoying it. I didn't want to stop, but it was like midnight and I'm old and have work and stuff.
Well, I had an early shift, otherwise I would have been
Yeah,
watching
you were at
movies
work
all
at
night.
6 a.m. Like, ugh. Literally to go open a door for someone, like the irony of media sometimes. But look, this is going to be on Crunchyroll worldwide. It's also on Anyone Asia in Hong Kong and Bilibili in China. Thursday mornings it comes out. We have one episode at the time of recording, second episode this week. So it should be good. I'm quite excited for this. We're going to move on to one of Emma's picks, and this is The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. This is a comedy, romance, supernatural.
Gee, what's that about?
It's a comedy of supernatural proportions which ends in romance.
So there's an angel
And there's a devil.
and they dance.
Yeah.
Bread.
No more bread. This is being animated by Children's Playground Entertainment. Now, we've talked about these guys in the past because they've just kind of like this weird studio that shows up every now and then. They did Faraway Paladin, but they only did season 1 by the looks of it.
Interesting.
They also did Hatena Illusion, which was like it wasn't very well received, but it was like a magic club in a high school sort of thing. Similar to Magic Senpai, but not as raunchy. Yeah. But we watched the first episode, me and Emma, the other night, and it's animated quite beautifully, and the flow is really good. So this is set during a period where heaven and hell are at war.
Isn't that kind of just
I know, but like they're really going out, like, you know, angels and devils are getting killed and yada yada.
Neat.
So determined to protect his demon world from the heavenly angels, the demon Masatoro Masamura Akutsu heads to Earth in search of a charismatic human to use to rally his kin. So the plan is he's going to find someone who's beautiful, stunning, charismatic, bring them to hell, and use them as almost like a cheerleader to, like, through magic, enhance the demons so that they are buffed for battle.
Interesting.
So he masquerades as a high schooler for his recruitment mission, and he's captivated by the lovely Lily Amane in class. She's basically the class's angel. Everyone treats her like, you know, she's to be protected and loved and cared for. And, you know, a guy keeps going and confessing to her, and she keeps saying no in polite ways. And then he becomes friends with that guy, unfortunately, because he's just weird.
Fair enough.
But he's in for a wild celestial surprise because she is his arch nemesis, an angel, and she's set on reforming his demonic ways. He saves her from an oncoming truck. They actually end up saving each other, and she's like, "You're not human." He's like, God, but it's fine. If I take her to hell, she's gonna know anyway. And he reveals it, and she's like, I'm a demon. I'm actually an angel. And she's a bit of a psychotic one. She puts like a choker on him, and yeah.
Are you sure this isn't in the questionable category
It's
we were
not.
talking about earlier?
It's not that way. It's not that way. It's she puts that on him, and he's now hers. Like, so she can keep an eye on him, and she's going to reform him.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
It's funny.
Brett.
It's really goofy. Like, this is one of the ones where we were watching it and we were just like, this is unhinged. Like, like you're expecting like the standard like Japanese comedy, high school, you know, like
I mean, I do remember
love delusion, love Chunibyo and other delusions, sort of like, you know, a little bit of silly. No, this just goes to the nth degree.
I do remember a very, very old school anime which also had a psychotic murderous angel. So I wonder if this is around the same thing. It was a series where like there was a guy who couldn't die, and this angel kept basically torturing him.
Oh no, it's not like that. It's nothing like that. That's
you know the one I'm thinking of.
Angel Doki something. Yeah, and she keeps using the mace to knock off his head. And yeah, it appeared in a lot of AMV Hell videos.
That's the one.
Yep. So look, this is comedy, supernatural romance. It is PG. It's not super violent. It's just really silly. It definitely feels like this is targeting like Zoomer humor with it, if that makes sense.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, not in a bad way.
Oh, good.
Like, I think they'll find this funny. I found it funny, and I'm, you know, early millennials.
We are old men.
I'm a millennial grandpa. But like, I really quite enjoyed it. And so did Emma. So this is on Crunchyroll. I mean, let's be honest, most things are. The funny thing is I haven't spotted anything listed for Disney Plus in our list.
Actually,
there is a show that's on Disney Plus, which is on the maybe list for me, but it wasn't the sort of show I was expecting to end up.
Which one was that?
I can't remember. Like I've looked at 30, 40 shows the last 24 hours. So like,
I mean, it was pretty much. It was whispered that Disney really, really wanted to get into the anime market and sort of like.
I mean, they do, and they have a deal with a publisher so that they can basically get all of their stuff with Kodansha.
Oh.
But the problem is Kodansha's existing series already have agreements in place. They can't go and steal My Hero Academia, for instance. So, yeah.
That was a terrible plan.
Yeah. They didn't think it through.
Might work out for them long term.
It'll
we'll
work
have to
out.
see,
Well, it means
but
that they'll be able to cherry pick the shows that Kodansha release that once those shows are finished and put them on their platform.
I see.
So that's what the way they're approaching it. But they're going to have to fight against Sony, and let's be honest, like Sony is probably more litigious than Disney. They're both pretty bad. But
yeah, but Sony is definitely a lot happier with the lawyers.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, watch The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. It's a good laugh. It's very silly. Tuesdays, 1:30 in the morning, Tuesday mornings. It'll air, so we should have that end of the day on Tuesdays. Crunchyroll, anyone Hong Kong, anyone Asia, Billy in China. Now, this next one's a romance one.
Okay.
This is one that I wholeheartedly believe Kira Lee's into. It is called A Sign of Affection. It is a romance and a shoujo.
He was a boy. She was a stop sign.
She was a giveaway sign, actually. But, you know. This is PG. It's based on a manga, and it is adorable. Like, if you've seen My Love Story, which is the one with the giant guy and the little girl, it's kind of shades of that, but imagine that it's been done in a Korean manhwa style. And it's not a case of he's big buff man who doesn't know why girl like and girl like but doesn't know how to explain. The main character reminds me of the girl from that.
Okay.
Except the main character, Yuki, is deaf. So she is a deaf college student and is struggling one day when an upperclassman from her school comes and helps her out. Someone on the train approaches her to ask for directions, and she's trying to explain that she, can't hear him. So Itsuomi helps her out, and he isn't put off at all by her lack of hearing and interacts with her naturally. He can speak 4 languages already. He's just come back from Canada.
Oh.
So, they interact quite naturally, and he's interested. He's already learning other languages. He's interested, in
set up as worldly and knowledgeable. That's interesting.
And it's really interesting. It's about one of the major themes in that first episode is how do you see the world compared to me? It's like, do you see? Because he's been traveling. It's like, does the world seem big to you? And he's like, yeah, it is. The world's huge.
I mean, since a silent voice, I guess.
Well,
we should expect
Senryu Girl.
Yes,
is probably the nearest I can
think
of.
Yes. Been a while since I've seen that.
I need to watch it again. I need to read the manga. The manga's finished.
Oh.
So, yeah. But yeah, so he isn't put off by her lack of hearing and interacts with her naturally and normally. He purposely slows down his speaking so she can read his lips and stuff like that. And as he gradually opens up a new world to her, she becomes developing feelings for him, and thus begins a pure love story of Yuki, a deaf college girl, and Utsuomi, her upperclassman who travels the world with her. Which is, it's just really beautiful.
Travels the world with her as in...
I don't know yet.
We're going to see set in different...
I don't know, but I'm hoping so. The first episode ends on a really sweet note because she's, well, as you can imagine, asking for someone's number when you're deaf, you can't really do that very subtly. You have to literally write it out if the other person doesn't do sign language. So, yeah, it's really sweet the way it's done.
That's actually somehow more daunting.
Yeah, it is. But it ends on a really sweet line, which is like, they're messaging over each other by text, but they're only like about 10 meters apart because they've just parted ways for the night. And, she asks him, how do you see the world? And, he's really big. And she's like, yeah, it is. And he's like, I'd like to be inside your world, though.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, I just get the heart cramps, the twinge in the chest.
Okay, that sounds
and
lovely.
And then, because obviously she doesn't scream and yell in excitement or happiness. She moves physically and she's literally jumping for joy. And it's just like, oh.
And that was episode 1.
Episode 1. They didn't beat around the bush. They got straight into it.
That's
like,
great.
Yes. Give me more of this cute slice of affection.
There's a lot of angles to this one. Okay, first there's the fact that, you have a relationship between a deaf girl and a bloke.
Yeah.
And, since a silent voice and, like you mentioned, Sanrio girl, it's like, we're seeing some of that, and I reckon we can start seeing more. I reckon we will start seeing more.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's that whole, okay, they want to travel the world. He wants to show her the world and stuff like that. Like, not since Place Further Than the Universe did we see, like, places outside Japan in that way. I'm really hoping that, as well as this wholesome romance.
I mean, I know the JoJo fans would disagree, but like, no offense to the JoJo fans. Yes, JoJo goes all over the world, but this is kind of a different approach to it.
Yeah,
they're not going for a fight.
That's more, they go around the world in the same way as like your old school Johnny Quest thing. It's like, we're in Egypt. Trust me on this. Just don't look around. You see that desert over there? That means we're in Egypt.
We're in Egypt, and this is Jackass.
I'm not sure we can say that.
It was a TV show. It was a title. They put that on TV. We're fine.
I weirdly missed that show.
I know, right? I heard like I watched a really interesting thing about. It was a YouTube channel, and I think it's called like Late Start. I think I sent you it, and this guy basically looks into the history of a Hasbro board game.
Oh yes,
which was basically just beer pong. And it was all about trick shots. Like, it was the invention of it. He actually talked to, like, the people who invented it. And they had Bam Margera from Jackass and the Skater, I think he was in Jackass, join them for, like, as their promo person. They were like, we couldn't ask for a better promo person at the time, because this was the 90s.
Yeah, it's like...
and, like, he was really... he was talking about, like, what's Bam like in person? He's like, there's two Bams. There is Bam when he's on the job, and there's normal Bam. And Bam, when he's on the job, is amazing. Like, he puts all the energy in and all that. Like, for someone to work through in a promotional standpoint, he sounds amazing.
I think we've all met a bloke like that.
Yeah. And then he was like, so what's Bam like in real life? And he's like, I mean, he's pretty much what you see is what you get. Like, And he's like, what, like Jackass? Like, no. But anyway, like, well off the topic on this. But... going back to this, like it does sound like a very worldly anime, A Sign of Affection. It is a shoujo series, so it is targeting the female demographic, and I can see why. All the guys are very pretty. They're very pretty.
But I mean, like, if it doesn't turn into a world travel / romance, I won't be disappointed or upset. I'll just be like, oh.
Yeah. Although I think either way it will be a good story, because you've also got her best friend. The best friend is into the same guy's cousin. And because they're all going to university, they're all an adult cast, which is a nice change.
It sounds
Yeah.
nice.
And it kind of really looks at, like, there are subtle things in it that you don't consider if you're someone who has always lived with the ability to hear. How would your alarm work?
Vibrate.
Yeah,
on your phone.
There's a specific vibrating alarm for people who have hearing impairments, and they put it on the mattress so the whole mattress vibrates. Like, there are little things like that I didn't consider, and it actually makes sure it notes them and shows them to you. It's really well done.
That's excellent.
Yeah, like when they go to a cafe in Japan, which is like it's a date, because both the main love interest and the cousin work there. So they go and they hand her a whiteboard so she can write. It's like little things like that where it shows like how the communication is being done and how her life is really quite nice. So yeah, I really like it.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. This is being animated by Ajia Do. They did Descendants of a Bookworm and Kakushigoto.
Oh.
So it's very shiny. It's very shiny. Based on a manga, PG, 12 episodes, Saturdays at 10:30 at night. So it's going to be good. I'm quite excited for this. I'm pretty sure this is a... I didn't actually list the things. I've got all of the various streaming platforms listed here, and it's like it's not on all of those.
Oh.
It's not. It's because not everyone's announced. Like, actually no, I did do it. There's actually a lot for this one. Annie Plus, So it's on Crunchyroll, Bilibili China, Annie Plus, Muse Asia in Singapore, Muse Asia Hong Kong, Muse Indonesia, Muse Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and Netflix
All
in
the muses.
some areas. Yeah. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. But I'm quite excited for it. But we do need to kind of take a quick minor tangent before we go into the news, because we do have to mention some of the other shows that are airing this season as well. The season 2 of Dangers in My Heart, Banished from the Heroes Party, and The Fire Hunter. Blue Exorcist is returning after
Exorcist.
8-9 years. Frieren, Shangri-la Frontier, Apothecary Diaries are all continuing, as is Undead, Unluck, which is finally available outside of Hulu in the US. It's now going to be on Disney Plus worldwide. So I know
it's
it's
the weirdest
just
thing to have on Disney.
No, it makes sense. Like a lot of the stuff that Disney Plus has went and grabbed from the anime section is targeting older audiences. So
People
it's
pay
just
money.
more. It's a really weird decision to say it's only on Hulu in the US and the rest of the world can wait.
That's
That more than anything else just makes me want to make a really silly Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse comic, because it's now
it's
royalty
public
free.
domain.
Public domain. But yeah, look, this
Wouldn't
is
it be hilarious if he became the international symbol for piracy?
Oh, 'cause he's on a boat. Oh, that'd be really funny. I did not consider that. I can get
You
I
might
can get
need to
behind
have
that.
a chat to a few people.
Oh, dear me. You're jumping on 4chan again, aren't you?
No, not immediately.
No, not immediately. Just on Reddit. Anyway.
Oh, God, no, I wouldn't do that to myself.
That's our picks for the season, plus a few others of note. As we said, it is a bumper season. We haven't covered everything, but if you enjoy something and we haven't mentioned it, pop it in the comments. We'd like to know.
Argue with me in the comments, yes.
Yeah. There are some, obviously, we can't talk about because of our PG rating. But
If you want to talk about them in the comments.
in the Patreon.
Yes.
On the Patreon.
On the Patreon.
Or on our Discord. Yeah.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
Now, we won't be talking about what we've been watching. It's a new process for us to do for the season previews, because when the season previews happen, we're watching what we're already talking about.
Pretty much.
So
It's
it's-
like everything's come out, let's have a look.
It's a bit redundant.
I've been watching Frieren.
You've been watching Frieren, so have I. We've
It's
been
delightful.
watching Monononogatari, the Spirit's House one, which was an old one too. What's it? Malevolent Spirits. Emma yells from the other room. Now, first things first, let's go. It's awards season. We did mention this before Christmas. A lot's happened. The Golden Boy and Heron won a Golden Globe. Mm-hmm. It's the first Golden Globe Studio Ghiblis won. So good on them. Boy and the Heron, Godzilla -1 films have been shortlisted for the Oscars as well. So shortlisted, not just listed, which was the original ones, which we talked about. So it's one of I think 10, 15 maybe. So that's pretty cool. Joe Hisashi has also been listed. Oh,
What?
okay, it's not as good as I thought. Boy and the Heron has been listed for Best Musical Score in the music category, not for animation.
Okay.
And Godzilla -1 for visual effects. Makes sense because that's CG.
Oh,
But,
Godzilla -1 was amazing.
you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I pirated a terrible version. I'm not sure I'm allowed to admit that on air, but fight me.
You used a VPN.
This is sponsored by NordVPN, Shadow Legends,
So
which
Boy
I
and the
listen
Heron-
to on my Raycons.
apparently Raycons have terribly bassy sound. Yeah. Anyway, anime films that are eligible for the animated feature category, it is still listed for it. So Blue Giant film, which is the blues one. Boy and the Heron, Slam Dunk's film, Lonely Castle in the Mirror, which is something we need to go and look at, because I think this is actually a sleeping hit that is going to be like a classic that we're going to
Lonely Castle in the Mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course Suzume as well.
Oh, yes.
Now, those are all eligible for it. It sounds like they're announcing the final nominees for the anime category and others on January 23rd. So next episode we should know if it's been nominated, and if not, we can all rage.
Okay.
Which I think is fair.
Yeah, I don't give much stock to award shows that we don't make.
No. Well, I'm of the opinion that the Oscars is just actually terrible, full stop.
Yeah. No.
And it says everything, the fact that the Golden Globes went, that's the best anime film of the year. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Although
I think
you
Minus
are-
One won some stuff at the Golden Globes too. So.
Yeah, I mean, you saw who they got as the MC for it, right?
No.
They might get Ricky Gervais back.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Gervais did it for the money. He said that. He's like, I don't like these people. Like, the fact that I'm on stage actually dissing them and they think it's funny, it's hilarious. I'm like, I mean, yeah.
But here's the thing, so you haven't heard of all the news and controversy and celebrity gossip.
No, I haven't.
Someone else tried to do a Ricky Gervais by insulting the audience and did not do it well. That
checks out. I also saw like really lame things from the Golden Globes where like they were dancing to the Golden Globes theme and it's like it wasn't funny, it was wasted time.
How do you dance to that?
You don't. Like they acted like it was shared online as if you could, and it's like you can't. Everyone on TikTok like this is the dumbest thing ever.
Even TikTok didn't turn it into a dance?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's saying a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the note of The Boy and the Heron, it is now the 4th highest earning anime film in North America of all time. Pokemon is still the number 1.
Hey.
So yeah, Demon Slayer second. And Pokemon the movie 2000 ranks 3rd. Wow. Pokemon the first movie earned 85 million US. By comparison, Demon Slayer Mugen Train only earned 49. That's insane.
That's not even taking inflation into account, is it?
Yeah. Pokemon the movie 2000 is 43. Godzilla Minus One is nearing the 50 million US mark as well. That's at 49 million. So, yeah, pretty cool. And... Oh, Boy and the Heron and Godzilla Minus One and Suzume are also eligible for the 2024 Oscars Best Picture category. Oof. So that's kind of cool too. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of Boy and Heron films. It's been a month. So, you know, Boy and Heron and Suzume have been nominated for Best Feature at the Annie Awards as well, along with Pokemon Concierge. So,
okay, I've heard good things about it, though.
Yeah, me too.
It looks adorable, for one thing.
All right, so we've gotten past all the Oscars and the awards stuff. Let's talk about some real serious anime news here.
It was mostly the award stuff. That's the thing.
Dorohedoro is getting a sequel.
Woohoo!
As a streaming series. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's just going back to Netflix. That's all it probably is.
Probably.
So, first anime series debuted in 2020. If you don't remember, this is the guy who's got like a like a lizard head.
Yeah, he goes by Cayman, and he's got like a lizard iguana head.
Yeah.
And they
live in a city. It's so dismal, it's only known as the Hole. Where do you work? In the Hole. And
it has like one of the most banger openings you've ever heard.
Yeah. It's like acid drenched sort of thing.
Oh, it's wonderful. And it's like the visuals are a girl making gyozas.
Yeah.
And I love
Big
gyozas.
buff lady. Mm-hmm. She good. So the actual plot is, in the city so dismal it's known as the Hole, a clan of sorcerers has been plucking people off the street to use as guinea pigs for atrocious experiments in the black arts. In a dark alley, Nikaido found Cayman, a man with a reptile head and a bad case of amnesia. I got there in the end, stumble. To undo the spell, they're hunting and killing the sorcerers in the Hole, hoping that eventually they'll kill the right one and undo the spell.
The hunting part is hilarious.
Yeah.
Cayman will bite onto their head so that the face inside of his mouth can look at the guy and go, no, it's not him.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
right.
What did the guy say inside? He said, it's not him. Okay, you're not it.
Yeah, but then the head sorcerer, gets word of a lizard man slaughtering his people and sends a crew of cleaners into the Hole, igniting a war between the two worlds.
Sends cleaners into a hole.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it was really well done. It was really fun. It was
a
bombastic.
Ride.
It had a full season. Mm-hmm. Like I think it was 24 episodes actually. I'll have to double check that. But then it got more episodes like as OVAs to just continue the story. They just kept pumping them out and everyone was like, wow. Okay, 12 episodes and then another 6.
Everyone was having a good time.
Yeah, it was great. Highly recommend watching it. Go check it out. Now, I've got some great news.
I like great news.
Yeah. Kyoto Animation.
Ooh.
They're finally back with a series, not a film. Sound Euphonium Season 3 is going to premiere in April. Now, I know it's not for everyone, but this could be the beginning of seeing them return to regular production. Like they're kind of like Trigger, where they only do specific shows that they're really passionate about. It's all done in-house. It works well.
Euphonium was interesting.
It was good. Definitely a lot more dramatic than I was expecting. I was expecting like K-On, but you know, like,
K-On, but with brass instruments.
Yeah, it's good. Like, you know, euphonium is a big brass instrument. It's going to premiere on NHK Educational in April, and they've got a new character called Haruka Tomatsu. We'll see how this all goes, because obviously there was some drama in the band and all this other stuff going on. It was pretty good. It will adapt Kumiko's third year in high school. So we've gone quite a far way, because I think each season basically covered a year. We've had some films, but now we're back to finally getting a new actual series.
There's a lot of content for this anime.
Oh yeah, there is a lot. New Spice and Wolf anime.
Yay. And also, what?
Yeah. Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf TV anime airs in April. The original voice actors are reprising their roles.
So this isn't this is a reboot, a remake, a prequel, a sequel?
I don't know.
Parallel
we don't
universe?
know. The phrasing suggests that it could go either way. But the way the advertisement and the trailer have been shown, it suggests it's a reboot.
I'm very intrigued by this. When was the original Spice and Wolf? That's
Over
going
10
back
years.
to... Yeah, that's like...
Over 10 years.
That was also 2013 or 2012 or so.
Yeah, about
Pretty
that.
sure that was 2012.
I can find out for you.
But yeah, Spice and Wolf
Series
was...
started in 2006.
Oh, wow.
18th volume was 2018. 24th and... because they took a break from 2011 till 2016, sorry.
Yeah, the plot of that is he's a merchant who starts traveling with a spirit who is a foxy-haired girl and who was sort of a demigoddess of the
2008
harvest.
and 2009 was season 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Funimation released both. I don't know what studio was with it, though. I think it was a different studio to what's being done this time. This is being... Well, actually, no, sorry. I'm talking gibberish here. I can't see. I'm going to go to the official website and see who they list, because I think they my understanding was they set up an original studio just for this, like they did with Ancient Magus Bride.
Oh, wow.
Like a subdivision of one of the major studios that is designed to just focus on this. It says
That's very interesting.
previews, special infos. So yeah, the only information we have is that it's Katakawa. So that might mean it goes to Disney Plus. So we'll then know. But the art style is stunning. Like, it looks beautiful.
Back in its day, it was...
Kevin Penkin's doing the music.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I know him.
Well, he's the guy from Perth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who never replied to our emails, even though we know mutual friends.
Call
Kevin,
us.
call me. He's not very proud of being from Perth, and that's, I guess, his own issue.
Okay.
Whatever. Some people like where they came from, others not so much.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
To each our own.
Yeah. Either way, this is going to be big, and it looks stunningly animated. I can't wait for it. This is
Even back in its day, it was like a feat of animation. It was.
Oh, yeah.
It was beautiful.
This has had CG games come out for it, like VR games, sorry, where you like are part of the team traveling and doing stuff with them.
Yeah, because this isn't like, a big fighty monster kind of anime. This is like a bloke and his companion traveling to do merchanties things. It's very chill.
But yeah, they've got the... Takeo Takahashi is returning to the franchise, this time as the chief director. I believe he was episode director previously.
Oh, cool.
The person who did the... it's being done at Passione. That is new.
Passione?
Studio, yeah. They're good. They're very good.
Anything else I would know from them?
Hang on. They like dabbling with watercolor.
Watercolor?
Yeah, they've done...
That's...
I know.
That's a tad random.
I know. They assisted on all the Bang Dream music series. I'm going alphabetically here, so you'll have to bear with me. High School TXT Hero, Higurashi, the two new ones, so Go and Sotsu. A Lull in the Sea. They did second key animations for that.
Lull in the Sea was beautiful.
Miruko-chan, the girl who can see all the ghosts and horrors. Yeah. Play It Cool Guys. They did in between animations for some episodes. Rail Wars. Sure. Sakura Wars, they did animation production assistance for the TV.
Okay.
Shounen Maid, So I'm a Spider, So What, they helped out on just one episode.
So they seem to be very support based.
Yeah, but they did Yuri Is My Job, Wasteful Days of High School Girls.
Oh, that one was
really
good.
well done. That was all them.
Okay, yep, I have high hopes for this thing.
Yeah, I mean, they were only established in 2011, so it makes sense. But yeah, they're a good studio. Like, they do put out a lot of odd things. Like, they did the Island of Giant Insects, that weird horror style one. Yeah. The episode director is directing it as well. So, like, they've brought in the old team, basically. Enishiya is producing the series. I don't know who they are, but I wouldn't be surprised.
But I mean, it sounds like a lot of people are back for this one. This was like work of passion, I guess.
They did tie up CM Production Corporation for Weathering With You movie.
Ooh.
And production assistance for Bell. So,
wow.
Yeah. Either way, looks good. I'm excited for it.
Those are like huge names. Those were huge international names even.
Mm-hmm. So that is in April, so next season. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Another one to mention, Jujutsu Kaisen anime is...
I was going to say, Black Butler is also...
next season too.
What the hell is next season?
Yeah.
It's just we're getting remakes of things from decades ago.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen's, in its last episode, announced that it is continuing into the Culling Game arc, which is the final arc of the manga. Mm-hmm. It's a long arc, so that might have to be 2 seasons, but that's coming. We don't have a date for that. And Konosuba 3 will air in April. So, yeah, it's all coming along. It's all becoming quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of it for the news. Everything else has kind of been like, this person has been attached as a voice actor, or this has got a new trailer, or this is going to be shown here. Not a lot has happened over Christmas.
It's the start of the year, so everyone's just sort of building back up to what's new stuff.
So with that, I think we should wrap up.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
And that is where we're going to leave things this episode. Thank you so much for listening. It's time to look back in time on 2023 and all of that anime.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is our new year in review show. We're no longer doing anime awards, but we're just going to give rewards for shows that we like. We're not going to make it competitive because there's too many good shows coming out. Mm-hmm. It's difficult. So it's our new year in review show. That is the new subject.
Yeah, we're not doing the big long slogs of looking at everything.
No. So we're going to look at 2023's anime and share our favorites for each category. There will be overlaps. It'll be good. It'll be nice and easy. Mm-hmm. So which series will receive a golden kawaii, and will we be throwing cabbages of shame at anyone?
There wasn't a whole lot.
There wasn't a whole lot of bad, but there was some.
There was some,
and we will find it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to join us to find out. It will be live streamed. I believe at this point we will be live streaming it on the 27th of January, which is a Saturday.
Delightful.
Probably in the morning Perth time, so that'll be Friday night if you're in the US, and probably around midnight if you're in Europe, guys. So sorry, time zones do be difficult. Now, if you have enjoyed what you've heard, hit the subscribe button, join us for future episodes, give us a thumbs up if you're on YouTube.
Argue with me in the comments.
Argue with Kenny in the comments.
I'm begging you, I haven't had a good argument in ages.
Yeah, you haven't. YouTube channel's got those dedicated videos. Now, if you would like to support the channel, we also have a Patreon you can subscribe to. We do need to have big thanks to our Patreon members as always. Thank you for supporting us. We share extra episodes on there and extra content such as outtakes, the video extras and the pre-show, and the mini podcast. If you can afford to support us, it would be greatly appreciated. It's only $1 a month. And you get a whole extra podcast of us talking trash uncensored.
Yeah, we say no naughty things.
We say the naughty words.
We say all the things that we're not allowed to say for copyright reasons.
I'm thinking burgers.
I like burgers.
I could go burgers.
I could go a burger.
Yeah, burgers for dinner?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of burger time. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing next. So if you'd like to join the Kawaii-Fi community and see the pictures of the burgers, head to the social media. No, we're not kidding. We're not going to put it up there, but we are on our socials. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, and
Have I
Twitter
told
X.
you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis? No, have I told you about Burger Freak?
You have. Should we go to... Let's see if Burger Freak's open. Anyway.
See Burger Freak.
You've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time...
Buy some bread.
Watch some anime!
I crave the bread, Kyle.